We are live. Let me just make sure it's in the chat.
Oh, man. Can't wait for Reg to see my sweatshirt.
Oh, man, the Thieves Hut. Oh, man.
Can't wait. Wiki Gaming went live.
Paste. There we go. It's on Discord. Let me put it on the Bird app. The app formerly known as the Bird app.
True. Oh, Battlefront news too. I forgot the Battlefront news.
Oh man, big. I wasn't sure, how much you cared about that, so I didn't even bring it up. But it's big
I used to play. I think I had it on I don't know what. I don't know if I had it on GameCube or if it was like a PSP game or something.
Oh man, it is a.
I remember hopping in those. Fun. Also, I'm gonna stand up.
Love it.
I only do pods standing up from now on.
All right, let's retweet that. All right. Boom. Wow.
Boom.
You look kind of powerful standing up, dude.
Yeah, it's like I'm just looking down on you, yeah?
Yeah, 100%.
Looking down on the mere mortals.
All right. We're live. I'm just going to start going because, actually, let me make sure. I'm going to go get like 2 more beers out of the fridge just so I have them on deck.
Okay.
On deck.
You know what? I don't want you to drink alone. I'm going to grab one too.
All right. The lighting's hitting right now. We got the Thieves hoodie on. We're ready to fucking roll. Let's go. Dialed in. On this episode of Not Another Gaming Podcast, we have a lot of ground to cover. We have a monumental lawsuit for the Call of Duty League that was started by Hex and Scump. The Esports World Cup has unveiled the trophy for all 5 of their major events. Helldivers 2 is the hottest game on Earth, and the devs can barely keep up with it. Jokic talking about his top laning style in League of Legends, and the league devs coming out today saying that higher LP gains were given out and are not being readjusted, and ranked league is in absolute shambles right now. So we're going to get Tiggy's takes on that. All that and more on yet another svelte, handsome, absolutely the beers are flowing cold, the mountains are blue episode of Not Another Gaming Podcast. Let's ride.
I got my nose in there a bit.
Yo, welcome back to Not Another Gaming Podcast. Your boy Papa Dom, me and Tiggy are back live, direct, and handsome, just like we always do. The beers are cold, the news is hot, and Tiggy is wielding this standing desk with absolute reckless abandon, no regard for human life. Not a single podcast is safe. Tiggy, how are you feeling on this fine Friday, Junior?
I'm doing fantastic, Dom. Friday Junior's finally here. We got the beers flowing.
Oh.
I'm excited to be with my guy. We're going to talk some esports. We're going to talk some gaming. And there was a lot of news this past week, so I'm very excited to just dive into it. And I don't think I'm going to do another podcast not standing up. I think the standing, I love it.
I like where your head's at. Marco, hey, how you doing? Hope that you're having a great Thursday. I agree with you. If I had like a better standing desk setup, like if this was actually a viable desk to stand at, I would. But I'm already kind of low to the ground as it is, and I'm also usually I try to be at a standing. At the office, I have my like a hybrid, movable desk, and I try to have it in stand mode the majority of the day because I like to pace when I talk. This is the only time that I talk for like more than 10 minutes a week where I'm not pacing. Londo in the chat, hey. Love to hear that you're doing great. Love to hear that we're off to a fresh start here. The mountains are they're so blue that I think the ink might drip off of this can. That is how cold these are. I was telling Tiggy, the mini fridge that I've got in my house, the beer fridge, thank you, Lundo, for the resub, 49 months. Love you, you absolute sexy legend. The mini fridge I have in this house came with it, and it's so old that I think it's probably the least energy efficient thing in this house. And it just keeps beers so cold. I can never get rid of it. It's wicked loud. It basically is like 2 degrees below a freezer. Mm-hmm. And oh man, yeah, this is like I can't even hold on to this for that long. It's that cold.
I mean, like, how when you get your car inspected, you got to make sure it passes all the, totally. all the tests and everything like that. I mean, totally. Luckily there's no refrigerator. There's no refrigerator people coming around because I tell you, yours wouldn't pass the standards. You'd be like, whoa. Too much voltage going in. There's too much cool. These mountains are too blue. We gotta roll it back.
No, 100%. I would get subpoenaed by like the World Energy Council or something like that. There would be hell to pay. I would get fined, especially living where I live, like where they're like, you don't even get subsidies on like oil heat or anything like that. Like I did all these updates to my house to make it more energy efficient and also look better. I'm not qualified for any rebates. It's like thousands of dollars in rebates. I'm not qualified for it because my house is powered by oil.
Pretty soon they're gonna make you have a windmill right out front.
That's it, dude. I'm gonna put Miller on a hamster wheel, and he's gonna have to power the house. So, but we're here live and direct. I'm just bitching over here. I just don't like having an electric stove, which is why I do all my cooking outside on propane on a grill and on a griddle and like powered by wood on a smoker. Like 80% of the cooking that I do happens out there because this other shit is just for the birds. This is not what the founding fathers wanted. Anyway, how was your weekend, Tiggy?
Damn, son.
My weekend was pretty solid, pretty good.
Did you get number one's birthday off? Did you get old GW's birthday off?
Of course. I got G-Dub's birthday. It's funny, like my roommate was even talking about how it's like it's just George Washington's birthday now. Like it's not, it's nothing else. Just George Washington's birthday is like the holiday nowadays. So, it was like that was cool. So we had that long weekend. It was fantastic. Caught up on a little bit of stuff. I think Friday, Saturday, I literally didn't leave my place. I was just an absolute degenerate. But we're making moves. We're making strides to be better. And that's what it is. We're getting the train up the mountain.
Yep.
It's got to rev up a little bit. So we're letting it rev. I am hanging around platinum still. I'm hanging around platinum still in the league. I think we both ran into a couple brick walls over the weekend.
Tough.
And
tough.
We're battling. And smaller men might call it quits. Smaller men might call it quits, myself included. I'm not sure. Maybe by the end of the episode, my attitude might change. But it was a good time, just a good relaxing time. I've been hanging out more with just like friends in Discord, and we are listening to like almost like house, like crazy party music.
Hell yeah!
And we all have the face cams on. We're all just like cranking beers, and we're just like dancing as we play video games.
Love it,
and it's been a fantastic time.
Love that. That's some great.
Couldn't recommend it more. Couldn't recommend it more.
Roller coaster of a weekend for me too. For anybody that tuned into the Hearthstone streams, that we didn't budge. All right. The only thing that kept us from getting demoted is the fact that you can't get demoted out of Diamond 5 in Hearthstone. And I've taken a few days to do some soul searching, and I'm not even ready to talk about where I'm at mentally yet. But it's taken some time. It took a toll on me. This weekend took a toll on me. Friday night, I think, we had a couple of wins, and then I went on like a 7-loss streak, and it culminated in my internet completely shitting the bed, where that was just enough to make me want to uninstall the game and also kick my monitor out the window. I got it figured out before I went to bed, so I'm like, I'll get back at it Saturday night. Saturday night will be the night. Same thing. I went on like another 5-loss streak. It was just deflating. Absolutely deflating. And I know, it's always darkest before the dawn. And I try to keep that in mind. I squeaked out a couple of close wins, but I was just getting smothered by some of these decks in Diamond 5. And I mean, top 7,500 in the world is no fucking joke, man. It is a tough battle to sneak in there, and now I see why, because I kind of cruised to Diamond 5, and then I just hit an absolute wood chipper of like, I mean, these people have probably been hard stuck Diamond, like high Diamond for the entire season too, and now we've got like a week left in the season. I don't know if I even have it in me to like take another run at it. I want to, but like, I don't even know if I can like put myself through that again.
Yeah, I mean, I think probably the competitors you're going up against have been like, we can't let this new age hightailing sneak his way in here on his first like competitive season in how many years. It's like, well, listen, we're gonna lay the hammer. I mean, every game they're playing against you is their Super Bowl.
100%.
It's like playing the New England Patriots in the mid 2010s, and such like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, every battle you got to be on your A game. I remember I was watching a couple games and it was like, it looked like victory was imminent.
Yeah.
From all angles.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden it was on, for Yu-Gi-Oh's terms, it's like you flipped over the Millennium Force.
Yep.
And just obliterated your whole side. Dude. I mean, it's crazy.
And that was the stuff that was the most deflating. I mean, I'm looking at, like, I downloaded an add-on just to like track the length of games and like the matchups and stuff like that. And those were the games that were like 17 minutes, 20 minutes, 18, like anywhere from like 17 to 20 minutes, where it would be like victory was like right there. And then all of a sudden they just flip it around in one turn, and the board state is just untenable. And, I find myself looking down the barrel, So, I mean, all in all, I'm proud of the first season back. Something tells me that my elo now is going to be so high that next season the climb is going to be so much fucking harder to get back to Diamond 5. I believe in it. I can still do it. I probably will still do it. But god damn, yeah, it has been really tough. And I'm going to take another stab at it. I probably won't stream it, but I will still be keeping people posted on the Hearthstone ranked progress, but that fucked me up big time. And then finding out that the national anthem clip got fucking muted the next day, that just like took the wind out of my sails big time.
I don't know what was wrong with it, because I was in the chat when it happened, and I was watching it, and I've tried to clip it multiple times. I tried to clip it on my computer here. I tried to clip it on my laptop back there, even my phone. Like, nothing was working. And I was like, is this my internet? Is this my computer? Like, why is it not clipping? And I was like, this is just an amazing, like, 55 seconds of just footage. Like, it was fantastic.
I must have got muted right away.
I mean, does Twitch hate patriotism?
Is Twitch anti-troop? Many people are saying that. Twitch, and also disrespecting the legacy of the great Whitney Houston. Probably the best national anthem. In my opinion, that's the best Star Spangled Banner that we've ever seen or heard. An iconic rendition. I also think Chris Stapleton's was unbelievable, but Whitney Houston's anthem was just... That's another... I cry every time.
Top 2 easily. But you know what game is not against patriotism?
What's that, baby?
Helldivers 2.
Oh, yes. I'll get the bombs and the gunshots and everything else for that. Hell yeah. Ken, thank you for the resub. 76 months, you absolute skinny, handsome legend. I hope that you're just firing on all cylinders in life. And yes, Manties need your help, divers. Tell us more about Helldivers and the phenomenon that comes with it, Tiggy.
So Helldivers 2, I don't even remember. Like, do we even talk about this game on the pod before at all? Like, I'm going to be honest.
No, we haven't. This is the first time. Like, the phenomenon, like, it was really just in the last, like, week.
Yeah.
It was really just in the last week.
This was not on my radar. This was nowhere on, like, I guess anyone's radar. It's a co-op shooter game. You drop down into Super Earth, and the planet's on, the planet's just been trampled with these bugs and these robots and stuff. And all of a sudden, humanity does what humanity does best, and we're making memes and TikToks about it, and we're rallying all our virtual troops to the cause so much where people are sitting in hours and hours of queue time to try and get in. And it's I've been gracious enough to be able to enlist
Yep.
as a hell diver.
Finally.
And
You get your cape.
I've gone through many missions. You know, I've gone through many of heroic hell diver deaths
Yeah.
and such. But I mean, it's been super fun. I like the CEO's tweeting all the time about it, and he's
Yeah.
like, we're not adding more developers. We don't want to have to fire them later on when it gets stabilized. It's like, and like the whole tsunami of events this past week for Helldivers has been nothing but a prime example of how to pull off like and deal with such an I'm gonna say it's overhyped, like, or maybe properly hyped, just like such a crazed hyped game and phenomenon going on right now from all angles has been phenomenal.
Yeah, it's unreal. I mean, the communication from the developers has also been phenomenal. Yesterday, for example, I got home from work, literally got home from the office, opened up Helldivers 2, and sat in the queue for 2 hours. 2 hours. I came home, changed into sweats, cooked dinner, cleaned up, did the dishes, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to go downstairs. Still waiting. I was like, dude, no fucking way. I left it on there for like another 10 minutes. I came back down. I popped in. I had time for like one mission. And I could not believe I just like, even then, and then today, I mean, I got home a little bit early from the office, but I still had some work to do. So I was like, oh, I'll put Helldivers 2 in the background. I'll put it on. I got right in. There was no queue. I literally just got right in because it was off prime time. And I got into a mission on Malevelon Creek, which is where we need the most support right now. The front lines of Malevelon Creek are absolutely in shambles. And got into the mission, and I was in like a 4-player squad that knew exactly what they were doing. They were like backpacking me through this whole thing. They were pinging everything. We were hitting every point, every like minor objective, everything. We got to the very end. We launched. Have you done one of the missions where you launch a missile?
No, I have not. I've seen them on like the maps.
Dude.
I've done like just the very basic, like, extract the hostages, like your own people.
No, this was like
that.
launch an ICBM, and I was like, oh, okay, like I'll take the launch codes back to the ship, and like maybe it'll give me a cutscene, or maybe I won't see it at all. No, it launches the fucking missile right in front of you, and then it goes into the distance, and you see the whole horizon just go like it's like blinding light as this missile goes off. It's insane. Like it's absolutely insane. I was not expecting that whatsoever. And then we go to the extraction. We're literally at the extraction point, and I lost connection.
Oh way!
Yeah. So the I think I got credit
for XP. You don't do it for the XP.
No, it was just for the Warfront, and I hope that those guys didn't lose connection either. But like we spent like 25 minutes on this map, and I was pissed about it. And I was like, dude, I can't. I gotta just like, I'll come back to the game when the servers are better. But the amount of like organic marketing that this game has had just from fans like making up shit about it is unheard of. It is insane. Did you see the girl who was like, ladies, this is how you talk to your Helldiver about his ongoing battles?
No, I have not. I've not seen that.
It's I gotta pull it up. It's like this girl is like, here's some lingo that you can use while your man is like fighting the good fight, so that you can be supportive. It's just like it's unbelievable. I'll send it to you. There was that, and then there was somebody who did this like this clip that looked like a CNN news ticker, and it was like, we have the latest from from Mantis, live from the Warfront, from the front lines, and then it cuts to like a Burger King commercial, like while the news ticker is still going, and then it comes back and he's like, all right, and we're back from our commercial break. Here's the latest. It's unreal.
It's awesome. It's so crazy how like just the public has taken on its duty to advertise this game, which is $40 game.
Yeah.
It's all PvE. You're playing with up to 3 other buddies, so a 4-man party system and stuff like that. You are in like a global war where everyone is on the same team. You know what I mean? everyone's on the same team. And I was talking to like my cousin and my brother post a horrific Call of Duty rank session where none of us had fun. And I was like, I was like, I think you guys should get Helldivers because it was just such a fun experience. And I was kind of explaining the game, and I kept just saying like fun over. And I'm like, more games should be fun. And my cousin was like, I don't think I've had fun playing this game once since I bought it. And it's like, I think we as consumers need to take a stand and be like, hey, why don't we just play things that make us fun, that are fun and make us happy?
Yeah.
And Helldivers should be one of them.
What a
it's
concept.
so easy to jump in. It's so easy to jump
What
in.
a concept. I want to have fun while playing video games should not be like a hot take.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a hot take. It should just be, I mean, that's table stakes for video games. It's like, I want to have fun while playing this game. And that's exactly what that fucking game is. I'm hoping that like it's not going to happen, but as soon as I fire up the game, I'll probably try to fire it up like as soon as we get off the show, and it's going to be a queue. But maybe I can get it before my first call tomorrow in the morning before work. I don't know. Maybe I can get in a couple of matches. But yeah, Helldivers is amazing. I mean, everybody's talking about it, and again, it's $40. And even the production values, I mean, like, the game looks beautiful. The, like, lighting system in the game is unbelievable. I mean, you're getting $100 worth of game for $40. You know, there's definitely some repetitive elements to it, but, like, if you're playing with some buddies, it's a great fucking time, man. Especially if you like, you guys all got hot mics, and you're just screaming and yelling and mowing down bugs and automatons.
Yeah.
You can't beat it. It's an unrivaled experience right now.
Yeah, absolutely can't beat it. Couldn't recommend it enough. And just so you know, if your boyfriend or husband or loved one is playing Helldivers, you are practically a military spouse now. Make sure everyone addresses you by his rank and salutes you. Hardest job in the military.
100%.
And that was a quote tweet from some female content creator. So yeah, I mean, everyone's getting into it. People even that like don't play it know what it is, and it's just, I mean, we could talk endlessly about Helldivers. It's fucking sick. Me and my buddy Troy were talking like maybe we should just stream in our camouflage OCPs after work. Just like one hero job to another.
100%. You definitely should. You definitely should. I mean,
so we were thinking that we might try to do that,
dude. That'd be fucking amazing. You definitely should do that. You definitely should do that. Yeah, no, I mean, listen, you got to keep them flying, just like in World War II. You got to keep them flying, keep them fighting, keep them flying, keep them fed. If you're a military spouse or, whatever, if you're working on the factory floor, keep them rolling. Keep the Doritos and Mountain Dew cranking off the factory lines. Whatever it is. We need those. And buy war bonds, goddammit. Steam gift cards. Buy war bonds.
Yeah.
Buy Steam gift cards.
I've heard of a secret. This could be a WGG exclusive secret to get into queues quicker on PC.
Whoa.
If you or if a friend of your Steam is in the game already, not in queue, allegedly from Steam, you can join the session, and that'll get you to skip the queue. Allegedly, I haven't tried it myself. It's what a little birdie told me. A little birdie named Troy. Shout out Troy. That might be a way to skip. You need obviously someone on your Steam's friend list in right now.
Ken is on right now. Maybe I'll try it live with Ken right now. Let me see. Ken, if you're listening to this, can you invite me to Helldivers and see if it just jumps me right into the game?
Here we go.
Hey, let's just see.
This could be amazing here.
This is going to be a moment. I'm going to actually see. Let me see. I don't even know if he's actually still listening or if he's still in here. I'll send him a message.
Yeah, you might be able to like join. I don't know if you can join session too. I don't know if you can just like
your Helldivers game. I want to see if it lets me skip the queue. He's playing with two other people right now too, so he's got an open slot. Yeah, Helldivers 2 needs a LAN mode. Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
That'd be sick.
So he just invited me. Wow, what a legend! Always been supporting the pod since day one. Let's see if it works.
And he can.
Did it load up? Am I loading in? Yeah. Let's see. Hold on. We're
If you don't load up, I'm gonna feel so ashamed. So I need this to work.
Let's see. We're gonna find out right now. I am loading into the game. Ken just sent it. You're a fucking legend, dude. You're a legend. Let's see if it works. If it works, I will be astounded. And that's a WGG exclusive, just like you said. I mean, that's a Not Another Gaming podcast breaking news right there. While we do that, why don't you talk about NBA Finals champion Nikola Jokic and his affinity for top lane in league.
Yeah, so Mr. Jokic, Mr. MVP, and should have been the 3-time. People forget. He has mentioned before how he's played League of Legends, and that's how he kind of keeps in touch with his boys from back home. You know what I mean? Like that's the big goons that he walks around with and stuff. I think that's the bot lane of his team, and that's how he just keeps in contact. And I feel like that's how like most people in general. I want to say for me, like predominantly male friends keep in contact, but also I mean I don't think you have to put a gender on it as well. Like as you get older, it's tough to connect. And if people play video games, it's super easy to connect on that level, and you get to keep in touch that way. So he does it that way, and he's playing fucking League of Legends, which is an incredibly competitive game. And one of the people asked him, I think during All-Star weekends, who his champs are playing right now, and he's playing what, Alawi, and I forget the other champ he's playing, but I'm like, they're both kind of broken bruiser top laners. Almost like an actual athletic Tyler 1 that's over 5 feet tall. So that's super cool to see. We saw Patrick Mahomes talk a week or two ago how if he wasn't a quarterback, he'd love to be a professional gamer for Call of Duty. And then we have, I think it was last year as well, we saw Luka Doncic. He got caught on another person's stream playing Overwatch in a Grandmaster lobby. Like they recognized him. He's like, you sound like very familiar. Like, they were asked talking basketball, and he said like, oh yeah, I'm Luka Doncic. And he came out and said it like in another like interview and stuff. So
that's unreal.
And super cool to see like top athletes of those games playing video games and doing it pretty well.
And that like, the, deep down, if you've ever watched any Jokic interviews, all he wants to do is be back in Serbia playing with his horses, just chilling with the homies, like hanging out. Like he does not want to be here playing basketball. My man is just clocking in, getting his check, getting his MVPs, getting his NBA Finals rings, and he's going home to do equestrian shit and play League. I respect the fuck out of that. I absolutely love that. He is no stranger to just being like, listen, man, I just work here. All right?
Yeah.
I'm here to just like break NBA records, just be an absolutely oppressive force on the court, collect my paycheck, and then I'm going home. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go, play ranked with the homies. Like that is absolutely wild to me. So that's not surprising at all. I love that he's doing that, and I totally agree. Especially if you're separated or if you live far away from the homies. Gaming is a great way to bring people together, and I'm so glad that Jokic, one of the best players in the NBA right now, is a shining example of that. And Nikola Jokic, if you ever want to come on the podcast and talk more about that, you're more than welcome. Come on the show.
That'd be fantastic. Maybe play a league game.
Maybe. And also I can confirm that that works because Ken invited me to his game and I got right in. I literally
You're in?
I didn't even see a loading screen. I literally went straight into his dropship. I was right there. So there you go. If you have a friend that's playing on Steam, you will cut the line. It's just like, if you're in line at the movies or at Disney World, like, and your buddies arrive a little bit late and you're already like halfway up. It's like, oh, we're just gonna, I'm with these guys. I'm with these guys, and then you jump right in. I can't say
do a little chat and cut. Shout out Larry David.
Yeah, I cannot confirm what would happen if you like leave the party, if it's going to kick you right back into the queue, or if you can just kind of like return to your ship alone. I assume you can just get back to your ship alone. Also, anecdotally, I accidentally cut the line at the Vatican one time, the real life Vatican.
The Catholic Church. Jeez, Dom.
I was in the holiest place alive. I'm pretty sure you can't sin there. Send a couple of Hail Marys, a couple of Our Fathers, and I was good, dude. I was genuinely sorry. I was like, oh, shit. But there was a break in the line because there was like a monument thing that you're not supposed to stand in front of or like block the vision of because there was like a tourist group. And I was like, oh, we'll just like go with this cluster of people. And it was like 900 people into the line.
Front of?
Yeah. So nobody said anything. So
yep.
And if they did, I would have just started acting like a crazy person and they would have left me alone.
Yeah.
Um,
Jeez.
so speaking of crazy
That's
people,
Mhm.
we got some pretty crazy news here where Hector Rodriguez, aka Hex, and our guy Scump, the legend, the goat, Seth Abner, they are coming together to sue the Call of Duty League. Now, I don't know what to make of this. I don't know what's going to happen, what's going to come of this. It could be something, it could be nothing. I truly don't know. We know that COD is, for better or for worse, probably for the worse. It is in a tough spot right now. Ranked is in a tough spot. The CDL is in a tough spot. This news broke literally hours after the podcast went live on Friday, which is why we didn't get to it then. But they are filing a lawsuit basically because of the CDL being a monopoly and it being like an antitrust type lawsuit where, it prevents there from being any sort of competing professional leagues. Normally, this I feel like would be kind of an open and shut case, but it is a very different thing because like nobody owns the sport of basketball. Nobody owns hockey. Nobody owns baseball. Like it belongs to the world, right? But COD belongs to Activision. And so like they own the product that this sport is played on, which can get a little dicey. Initially, it was reported that Hex and Scump were being joined by multiple CDL owners, and then it was later clarified that they are on their own in this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, is it A, we know we're going to lose in court and we're just kind of trying to make a statement? We're just trying to show you that Activision can bleed? Yeah. Is it B, we actually think we're going to win and we're trying to like find some sort of independence here? Or is it C, we don't know what's going to happen. We're just sick of this shit. And whatever the case is, we want you to know how we feel.
Yep.
So, Tiggy, what are your thoughts on the whole situation? I think it's really interesting. I'm not exactly sure which way the wind's going to blow on this one, but I'm curious to hear what happens next.
Yeah, we saw the news break and everything, and like, it's weird. They're suing for multiple hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Which sounds like insane as it is, but I also think that it is very like such a unique scenario because the history of Optic Gaming and the CDL has been thrown all over the place. At first they come in, like Hex didn't have full control of Optic anymore. Infinite had it, and because Immortals wanted it for the freaking LCS spot and shit like that. Yep. Then they teamed up with Chicago Huntsmen with NRG, Andy Miller. Shout out Andy Miller. Then OGLA goes to they have that Optic OGLA team. Then they go back and then they're like Optic Chicago. Then Envy has to basically dilute in order to get Hex a Call of Duty team, and they become like Optic Texas down the road. They destroy the Dallas Empire branding. And that's all because of, we find later that Hex literally said like, hey, I have the whole backing for the money. I want to be the sole owner. And Activision basically said, no, you're not really like the ownership group we're kind of looking for.
Yeah, exactly. Which is kind of fucked. I mean, it's like, what do you mean by that? I'm not going to assume anything, but it's like, what do you mean we are not the kind of owner? Like, are you just looking for like some billionaire that is just going to come out of pocket and spend $1 bajillion and never ask any questions just because they want to add that to their portfolio? Like, I don't want to make any assumptions, but does this come down to, a profiling type of thing? I think it's more probably on the former. Either way, it's fucked up because that type of diversity of ownership is incredibly important in all kinds of sports. But something tells me they wanted some absentee ownership. They wanted some, ancient sports billionaires that are just going to throw out, $45 million and just add something to their portfolio and never ask any questions and never provide any critique. Whereas Hex, who has been involved in multiple esports scenes since their foundations, and has been a constant in esports for God knows how many years at this point, how many decades at this point, is more disruptive. And I say that complimentary is more disruptive, where he's going to ask questions. He's going to want to know, if this is actually good for the game, if it's good for esports in general. So I'm glad to see him taking action. I'm glad it's him.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Hector Rodriguez, he basically is the COD father. I mean, he got his whole living from Optic Gaming nowadays. I mean, when you look at Call of Duty, you think of Optic, you think of Hex.
Yep.
So no one has wanted competitive Call of Duty to be higher up than Hector Rodriguez. So the fact that like you're looking at, hey, a sole owner who is all in it, who wants this more than anything to succeed. Like, I think he would sell Valorant. He would sell like Counter-Strike back in the day.
Yeah.
He would sell everything if Call of Duty would succeed. Like Call of Duty's his fucking love. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So the fact that, I mean, it's his love, like Counter-Strike's Jason Lakes. You know what I mean? Like that's it. 1A, 1B. So the fact is that like him by himself was not enough for Activision.
Yep.
Is kind of like you're saying, like maybe they just wanted absentee ownership.
Yeah.
The Scump involvement is very intriguing because one, Scump doesn't play for the CDL anymore. I think where he might have like, I don't know if he has a valid argument, but I'm assuming where his damages are coming from is like, well, he wants to co-stream on Twitch. He wants to stream it on Twitch, which is a much better viewing platform than YouTube, I would say, in terms of just like the long tenure it's had. And he's going to get more views and more money via Twitch than on YouTube. You know what I mean? For this, maybe a $10 million deal spread out across, we found out half goes to split between the teams and half goes to the league on all profits made.
So crazy.
So which is, I mean, that's fucking crazy because it basically, if maybe I read it incorrectly, but if Optic Texas hosts an event, which Optic Texas is the biggest brand in Call of Duty, Optic Texas hosts an event, everyone's like, well, I want to go to the Optic event. Optic has to split those profits 50% with the league and then split it amongst the other teams. What incentive is there to even fucking throw a tournament?
For real.
If that's what I'm reading correctly, that's what it looked like to me. So I'm like, yeah, I mean, I guess you want to host an event for your friends, but you're taking on so much fucking money and
especially with the amount of money that has to go into it.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine how much throwing a major event like that costs.
Yeah.
I could probably ask around. I could probably find out a rough figure, but
yeah. So it's like, I don't even know if you break even or get profit and stuff like that. Optic, I would say, is, again, the only reason why I think it's super interesting is because it's Optic Gaming.
Yeah.
If and that's why I think even though other teams aren't even involved, I don't even think it matters because you have the one that actually does fucking matter is Optic Gaming, Hector Rodriguez, Scump.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I made very big claims last episode that like no one's watching except for Scump.
Yeah.
This comes out a couple hours later. It's kind of crazy.
Literally, yeah.
We had, I saw there's a bunch of streams of like, quote unquote lawyers, i.e. Twitter people. So I don't know if they're actually lawyers. While we're saying shut and closed case, this is getting dismissed. No chance to see the light of day. Other people were like, hey, they might have something here. So I think with the way the Call of Duty League is going, with the three options you gave, I would say it's leaning towards the third one, which is we're kind of just here to make noise and put our cards on the table and let's see what happens.
Shake it up a little bit. This was the Joker putting the gun on Harvey Dent's forehead. Oh no, sorry, putting the gun on his own forehead and putting Harvey Dent's hand on it. They was just like introduce a little chaos. Like that's what they're doing, dude. That's what he's doing.
Yeah,
just introducing a little chaos. And dude, I mean, they're in fucking trouble because what's gonna come after this? Even if they get laughed out of court, which I hope they don't. I hope they shake it up a little bit because they're gonna have to look. But if the case gets thrown out, now there's a precedent. And you know what? If anybody else, any other ownership in the OWL, you already knew that the OWL owners were grouping up, right? There was a couple of OWL owners that were grouping up. If anybody in the CDL or OWL is like, I think what Activision's doing is fucked, and, we got to make a stand, they already know that they don't even need to pick up the phone for Hex to be like, I'll be there.
Yep.
Hex is going to hit him with the whose car we taking.
Yes.
There's
blood in the water and he's ready to go. I think, we'll see what happens. I hope something happens. I hope what they don't happen is like it gets delayed for a year because, possibly the Call of Duty League might dissolve after this year. That's always a possibility. We saw OWL dissolve earlier, well, I guess late last year, and now it's going back to an open format, kind of like the ex Call of Duty League. It was CWL, Call of Duty World League.
Yep.
So, it might go back to something like that. And if it goes like that, Activision doesn't really have like too much of a stranglehold on that anymore. So, we'll see. Like you said, super interesting. And it's just, again, no one knows what the fuck's going to happen. I don't know if they have precedent. I have no idea. I don't know the law. I more specialize in bird law, so I wouldn't be a great help here.
Well, on a positive note, did you know that there was a such thing as an esports World Cup?
I don't know if we mentioned that. I don't know if we talked about this. I think we only talked about like the Olympics. The esports
We talked
Olympics.
about the esports Olympics, but the esports World Cup is a little different. And so there's 3 out of the 5 games I have heard of, and they're pretty big.
Yeah.
The esports World Cup is going to be in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, this summer. And 3 of the 5 major events are Counter-Strike 2,
Nice.
Dota 2, StarCraft 2, and then there's Honor of Kings and Mobile Legends.
Okay. So Mobile Legends, I have heard of Mobile Legends.
Mobile Legends Bang Bang, to be specific.
Yeah. Mobile Legends, I think, might have like a bigger mobile player base than the Wild Rift, actually.
Really?
Which is kind of crazy. I've heard of Mobile Legends, and I don't know if those are all like Valve games, right? Because like Counter-Strike's Valve, right?
Counter-Strike is Valve. Dota is Dota's Valve too, I think.
I think so, yeah. So that's why I'm like, yeah.
But
so I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know if
StarCraft
this
is Activision, so
yeah. And then I don't know the Kingdoms game at all, but I mean that's cool. I mean it's in a viewer perspective, I think like maybe Valve won the bid or something like that, because like I think obviously more people would want to see League of Legends instead of Dota, possibly. But I think it's super cool that we're going to see a Counter-Strike in a World Cup atmosphere.
Yeah.
I know Saudi Arabia is, from what I've heard of troops that have like, may or may been there, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I've heard like great things about like literally how the country of Saudi Arabia looks and stuff like that. So obviously I won't comment on anything else about Saudi Arabia, but that's what I've heard. So that's cool that a World Cup's happening, and there's some actual games that we've heard of. It's not going to be like the esports Olympics, which we're watching virtual taekwondo.
Yeah, totally. I mean, again, I don't want to see fucking virtual taekwondo or like a darts mobile game or some shit. I'd much rather see something like this where they're actual video games that I've heard of. So I guess this is an evolution of an organization called Gamers 8. Gamers 8 was a Saudi Arabian esports competitive circuit, and it's getting it's the next evolution of Gamers 8, that is now the esports World Cup. So I hadn't heard of Gamers 8 before. I believe it was just a Saudi Arabia competition or like circuit. It might have been like an MLG, but for Saudi Arabia competitors. The organizers are the Esports World Cup Foundation, which is a nonprofit dedicated to hosting and nurturing Esports World Cup for years to come. Ralph Reichert, who is actually the founder of ESL, is going to lead the Esports World Cup Foundation as its CEO. So very interesting that we have some storied leadership. And it's also no surprise that Counter-Strike is involved, because, if you have the founder of the ESL who's going to bat for it, clearly, there's some clout there.
That's cool. That's so cool. I just read a little bit online that it's like an 8-week competition too. So this isn't going to be, like a weekend tournament, a weekend LAN or anything. 8 weeks of competition. I don't know how many teams are coming, but that's fucking sick. I hope it's World Cup, so it's all going to be based on like countries and stuff, but I hope somehow there's like tons of behind the scenes content on this. Content. All we want is more content. All we want is like behind the scenes and stuff like that. And so if they could get behind the scenes of like an 8-week lead up competition to the finals, or USA or Korea or like some like big freaking nation in terms of esports, like that would be sick. Again, I don't know who would like run the content for that. You know what I mean? Like with a country based.
I mean, this is really new. I mean, I this kind of like flew under the radar for me. This just got announced in October. So the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia announced this October 23rd, 2023. The Esports World Cup is a natural next step in Saudi Arabia's journey to become the premier global hub for gaming and esports, offering an unmatched esports experience that pushes the boundaries of the industry. The competition will enhance our progress towards realizing our Vision 2030 objectives of diversifying the economy, growing the tourism sector, yada, yada, yada. So, pretty fucking amazing that there's clearly a shitload of money that's going into this. The production value looks great just based on, I mean, the website's beautiful, so I would just assume that the production values are going to be phenomenal as well. There's some FAQs on here. It doesn't look like the prize levels have been fully revealed yet, but they will. It'll be this summer, July and August, and it's designed to showcase the world's best esports clubs. So it could be region based, but it sounds as though it will feature actual clubs, not just like an all-star team from the US, an all-star team from UK, an all-star team from Germany, whatever. Very interesting. Very interesting. They're calling it a star-studded new global sport conference. So we'll have to see.
That's cool, yeah. Very exciting. I just looked up that some teams that just competed at the Counter-Strike event, 2 of the teams, Serral and Clem, have already qualified with top 4, and IEM Cowatice and ESL SC2 Master Spring receiving invites. So maybe these are StarCraft players or whatever. So like there's like qualifications in the big tournaments and stuff coming up. All right. For this. And I think you're right. Like it's going to be clubs, it's going to be organizations, it's not going to be countries, which is, I mean, hey, I'm all for it.
I mean, listen, dude, I'm right there for it too. I think that, regardless of how you feel about Saudi Arabia and their involvement in the world of sport and, what a lot of people will refer to as sports washing, this is a massive initiative for esports. It's going to grow the game, multiple games. It's going to grow the scene. I don't know too much about those other two, aside from StarCraft, Dota, and Counter-Strike. I mean, which are obviously massive enough on their own. But hey, maybe this is a good opportunity to learn more about some different esports that are played internationally, and not just in the U.S. Absolutely. So we'll definitely be keeping our eyes on the Esports World Cup. Maybe we take a trip out there. I don't know. Maybe we go.
I mean, hey, we'll have to check in the.
Check the old JetBlue app real quick. See what the flights are looking like.
It's all right. Hey, I can get us free bags on the flight, so we're good there.
Status, Teggy status is what they call them. So yeah, pretty interesting. We'll definitely keep tabs on it, but it seems legit. And again, we're not playing like digital darts or like badminton or World of Tennis on fucking iOS or some shit like that. Like this actually seems legit. So it doesn't surprise me that it's coming from Saudi Arabia, since they're known for like just throwing insane amounts of money at athletes to attract them to play there. Apparently at the keynote for the Esports World Cup, Cristiano Ronaldo was there. So, you already know that like this is going to become a massive spectacle, and maybe that's what we need. We need this big cash flow injection. Maybe Saudi Arabia should buy the CDL. I'm just saying.
You heard it here first. Saudi could save the Call of Duty League.
Listen, I'm just saying, if there's anybody, I don't know. Maybe they just buy Call of Duty. Can they do that?
Could they buy Activision?
The Saudi Crown Prince has purchased Sledgehammer Games, and they're just going to make their own. I mean, that's like who has more money? Who has more money to kind of wrest control from Activision Blizzard?
I mean, we're gonna have a pros and cons list of Activision.
Yeah, his $850 million go away. I don't know how much COD grosses annually, but I'm sure they'll be like, they probably piss that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. And too, all those same idiots are gonna buy it again next year, which I'm probably one of those idiots. But
hey, listen, the good news is that you have about 90 million other idiots that are going to follow suit. So you're in good company, or you're in company. All right. I mean, I don't know about good company, but you're in company.
Yeah. Also, Also, speaking
Yeah.
of Call of Duty, I don't know if you saw, but I think Microsoft came out with some more intel in terms of their Game Pass that they're working very hard, and
Mm.
Call of Duty, all the Call of Duty titles should be on soon for the Game Pass and stuff. And that's still their goal. Is one of their goals is to get like all of Call of Duties on the Game Pass and stuff like that, including new ones coming out. So that's very exciting as well. And then going off Call of Duty, I don't know if we talked a little bit about NCAA football coming back.
Ooh, it is coming back officially. So I put a, I was a little cynical on this because there was a lot of like rumors are swirling that NCAA, or it's not NCAA, it's EA Sports College Football 24 is going to come out in July or something like that. I'm like, guys, we don't even have a teaser. We don't have any key art. We don't have anything. And this was like a month ago. I'm like, there's no fucking way that they're just going to like stealth drop this out of nowhere. But now they're kind of ramping up marketing a little bit. They're dropping a teaser every couple weeks. They're getting people riled up. What are your thoughts on all this? Are you looking forward to it? Are we kind of like, because I feel like people are just already ready to just throw their money down. The pre-orders are probably already live for it, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah. I think it's exciting. I have not played an NCAA football game since it was like '06 or something like that. So it's a very long time ago. But I think it's cool, something different I think part of it is like it hasn't been around for a decade, 2014 was the last year. So I think that's really cool. Now we're having like a new age college football. And this is obviously all becoming because of the NIL deals and stuff like that, which as well, they need all these players to accept.
Yeah.
And
they can profit off of it.
I think they budgeted like $3 million. They're going to give every player $600 and a copy of the game. So what? $660.
Yeah, $663.74 in Massachusetts. If you play for UMass, it's $663.74.
So you're getting that. And a lot of people are saying like, well, the big names aren't going to sign it. It's like, I think everyone will, because I think as a kid, you want your name in the fucking game.
Yeah,
I think that's cool.
Yes, and you know what? Not all those kids are going to make it into Madden.
Yeah. No, not at all. Not at all. Unless you're at Alabama or, Ohio State or Michigan or schools like that. It's like, I mean, this is the one time. So we'll see if the big athletes say no and we're going to have like a John Dodd situation.
Yeah.
When Barry Bonds wouldn't accept the fucking money. It's like, dude, come on. So I hope that doesn't happen for a lot of them. I think it'll be super cool. But the NCAA or whoever's making the game EA put a time, and it was like it was early April. It was like, if you don't accept now, like who's to say you're going to be in the start of the game? You know? And you might have to come in during a roster update. So
look at it this way: there's what? I mean, how many NCAA teams are there? How many college football teams are going to be in this game? Ballpark. They said all X amount.
What they say?
Let me see.
I think they said like 50 some were coming out initially or something like that.
134 FBS schools. What is an FBS school?
FBS is football B school. I don't know. I have no idea what FBS is. That's like the top 25 thing, right?
134 FBS schools. What is an FBS football programs? They're all Division 1. So there's 134 Division 1 teams. They're all going to be featured. College Football 25 will feature all 134 Division 1 teams. And there can be, I'm pretty sure you can have teams can have over 100 people on their active roster, college teams.
Yeah.
They have
it's like 80. It's like 80 plus easily.
Yeah. So you figure, what is that? That's up to, you probably have upwards of 13,000 college football players in the country. Maybe 15, 17,000, depending on how big the program is, right? D1. You know how many people get drafted to the NFL every year?
Not that many.
Like 200. So, yeah, I'm taking the fucking $660.
Yeah.
And my lunch pail.
And your lunch pail. Yeah. And your eternity in college football video
Yes, in the first college football game in 10 years, 15 years, whatever the fuck, however long it's been. Yes, I am taking the $660.
Yep. I think there's a lot of pros. One con I've seen so far, it's not on PC.
Ooh. Well, I mean, EA Sports, historically, the PC ports have always been pretty bad. I feel like for the most part, right?
Apparently people are saying Madden is terrible on PC right now. So that could be an issue. So
That goes way back.
it might force me to, maybe I'll buy an Xbox Series S finally. Play some. Maybe we'll do like a big dynasty league of college football. We get like 40 people, and everyone plays like 2 games a week or something like
Dude, I
that.
love
And it's literally like a college football season or something
Let's
like
do
that.
it.
I think that'd be so cool. So that'd be cool. And then, I might just get a Series X. I can play the old Call of Duty games on the servers. NHL is the only like sports game not on PC, and I love NHL. Xbox is the primary.
Dude, I haven't
console
played a
for
football game
NHL.
since like NFL 2K5, so I'll probably be trash, but it'll be
There
fun.
you go. Hey, just run the shark wheel. You'll find someone open. It's all
100%.
right.
I'll ask.
Just like Big Cat.
Hopefully, they'll have like an Ask Saban option
Yes.
instead of Ask Madden. It's like click X to Ask Saban.
R.I.P. in peace. Sad. Oh man, no, but it's so that's I think that's like huge fucking groundbreaking news. It's awesome. I know like the Barstool Big Cat's gonna be making some cool content with him and Doug's and winning national championships and stuff. So
dude,
it'll be a good time.
Like single-handedly got so many people through the pandemic just by like pretending to be a college football coach, and then they found a guy who looks exactly like that custom football coach, which is just the most insane thing that I've ever seen in my life. But I'm looking forward to that.
He has taken on the name of Doug's as well.
Listen, it's truly remarkable the way video games bring people together. Also, Miller is like comatose over here. The poor guy was at the groomers yesterday, and he's still exhausted. Look at him; he's got the bone right in front of his mouth, and he's like, "Ugh, I could get it, but I don't want to."
I wish for that life.
Yeah, right? Yeah, look at. You would think he pays bills. For that life. You would think that he was in the office 3 days this week. You would think he ran 3.2 miles today. Are you good? Miller. He's asleep. All right. Are you good? Yeah, he's fine. All right.
Okay.
Just making sure. Just making sure. Sorry for bothering you. I know you got work in the morning. Anyway, why don't we land the train?
Yeah.
Big shout out to everybody in the chat. Big shout out to Lundo. Shout out to Ken. Shout out to Mako. We really appreciate you. Thanks for the resubs. We love you so much. Kisses on foreheads. Shout out to everybody fighting the good fight on the front lines in Helldivers 2. We're hoping that some petitions go through and we can get Xbox in the fight as well.
Need them. We need them.
We need the boys in green. We need them. These automatons ain't gonna chop themselves down. These bugs ain't gonna squash themselves. These air raids, these airstrikes aren't gonna call themselves in. So, we need that. But that's all I got. Big shout out to everybody. Much love. Tiggy, what do you got?
Just wanted to talk a little bit. I'm hanging on to Platinum 3 right now with a 0 LP. One of the devs mentioned that they gave too much LP at the start of the season, and they're ramping us back down. I think someone in this room might be someone who they're talking about allegedly. So I might have to halt my rank grind for a little bit until I figure out how to actually play up to my level. So we'll see. That might be a little hiatus because I don't really want to go back to gold. I don't want to go back. Okay, I've never been here. I'm in the VIP party and I didn't pay for the slip. You know what I mean? So I want to stay here forever. All right. My brother is coming to town tomorrow, so I'm very excited to see him. And Gerber Baby as well just pitched today for the Dodgers. 1 inning, 1 strikeouts. I think hitting a walk, no runs though. So he's ramping up. And us 3 and my buddy Troy, we're going to be golfing a shit ton this weekend. Twitch.tv/TicketNation, we'll be having a lot of golf stream, a lot of golf content.
Yep.
It's going to be a good time. Hopefully I keep a connection. I don't shank every shot. So.
Hey, listen, and big shout out to Fanatics who have produced the world's first see-through baseball jerseys. So.
And pants.
Yeah. So big shout out to them. Just an absolute masterclass on how not to design a fucking uniform that is turning literally the entire baseball world upside down. People are tearing themselves up over it. But so there's that. For everybody else, we love you so much. This has been episode 377 of Not Another Gaming Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure that you like us, rate us 5 stars, and share us with a friend this week and every week. We love you so much. And we'll see you next week.